Cheese. Back once again. Young Jason B. Xavier. Phillian Brown, if you will. Back once again to discuss our journey of self-actualization, finding fulfillment, overcoming addiction, dependency. So, without saying too much, we are all addicted to something. We are trying to add onto ourselves. We're trying to add something to our lives, some type of external substance. All right? To fulfill ourselves internally, to reach a state of fulfillment, to reach a state of, I've arrived, I'm finally here, I can relax, stress-free. We are all chasing something, right? And I've been dealing with severe addictive tendencies for some of the longest times. And because of that, I found myself in a state where instead of cultivating dependency on myself, it seems I have cultivated dependency on external substances. Now, for me personally, it's tobacco. I used to struggle with weed quite a lot, but as of late, I've been able to not essentially weed off, but weed is not in itself an addictive substance, so just time without that you would be able to overcome, right? And however, nicotine, tobacco, that is my current affliction and my current mission to overcome. I'm making this video. Why? Because for myself personally, really and truly, I say to you that this is for me. This is to document who I am, where I am, and how I got to where I want to be. I want to leave myself a little documentary to show that if I can do it, I truly believe anyone else can do it. Because despite what you see on the camera, it is not so sunshine and greenery. You know what I mean? It's darkness, it's abyss, it's pain, suffering. And I understand. I'm not the one that's suffering. I have cultivated some type of natural intelligence which allows me to believe that we are interconnected. All of us are one. There is no separation. And while I have this knowledge, I am still trying to uncover, understand, and most importantly, experience what this feeling is like. I have unorganically achieved that state before using various substances. Now my mission is to do so while sober. Much more difficult than you would imagine. And in this game of, I guess, solving one's iniquities, if you will, I have to ask myself, so you have to ask yourself the question. We have to ask ourselves the question. What steps can we take to become more dependent, to become more independent, to become more reliable, self-reliant, self-sufficient? These are the questions we should be asking to reduce our liabilities so that we can actually in turn focus our attention onto more important investments into ourselves, into what we want to do with our lives, into contribution, connection, and creation, developing and honing our skills, investing in our capability to do so, right? Instead of running away and spending our money planting seeds into fields of grass which do not serve us, into rocky fields such as substance abuse, gambling, even really and truthfully, most things that we chase are an addiction, even success, even money. We are all trying to hide away from a certain type of root cause, right? We have been as humans facing many, many different kinds of traumas. And as life progresses, we're not really taught how to process these traumas, how to heal from these traumas and actually uncover them so we can work through them and then move on. Most of the time, we literally just, it happens to us, cry a little bit, and then we move on. But that energy, unfully processed, will stay stagnant and then grow into turmoil, resentment, anger, anxiety, fear, guilt, shame, to the point where it becomes overwhelming, where you don't even know who you are anymore, what your identity is without these substances, without these emotions. You find yourself in a state where you can't even lift yourself out of, right? Where you're overwhelmed by the choices and opportunities before you, overwhelmed by the stresses, the responsibilities and the obligations, even if it comes down to the most simplest thing. You feel just you are incapable of doing so. However, I speak from experience when I say you can. You can indeed do what needs to be done. And most importantly, we are not focusing on the goal here. We are focusing on the pursuit. We all want to be better. We all want to have the sunshine and rainbows at the end of the bridge, or the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. However, it's the pursuit that we should be focusing on. It is the pursuit of self-improvement, the pursuit of self-actualization. The journey is what we should be focusing on. One step at a time, 1 minute after 1 minute. 1 minute a day, one step a day. Some people say 1% improvements every day. I say 0.5. I say do something that you think would benefit you. Do something that allows you to, that pushes you forward into that direction of who you want to be. Because really and truthfully, we all know that what we are doing, the actions we are taking, they don't actually serve who we want to be. They don't actually benefit our mind state, our physiological state. It does not benefit anything, any part, any foundation of our lives, physically, mentally, creatively, mechanically, culturally, and in fact makes those aspects suffer even more, right? So what I've realized is, really and truthfully, as a, how do you say it, recovering addict, as a recovering addict, someone who wants to gain self-control to overcome their tendencies, their bodily and worldly desires, we must learn. We must learn. That is really and truthfully one way to get over what our afflictions are. Because we allow these addictions to actually take a hold of us, right? We allow these addictions to scream in our mind. We follow. It's always a choice at the end of the day. It comes down to choice and what we do. We all have 24 hours in a day, and we all decide how we use those 24 hours. Do you spend 4 hours chasing an addiction, or do you spend 4 hours replacing that addiction with better habits, more fulfilling habits, right? And as addicts, we know that moment of chasing is fleeting. As soon as we get it, it's gone, pretty much. It's already gone. So we focus on the pursuit of being better. We focus on the pursuit of replacing our bad habits with good ones. The journey to become better than you are is as good, if not better, than achieving the goal itself, if you ask me. Hi. Hello again. We are back. However, I dropped my mic and have actually broken it, so therefore we have this really potentially very bad audio right now. Though I wanted to finish up this episode by saying and giving some minor, small steps, small things you could do when the cravings spring up, when the urges are about, when they arrive, right? Because at the end of the day, when they happen, we immediately, Jesus, we immediately seek something outside of ourselves to fulfill us. As soon as the cravings and the urges spring up, it's like, okay, it acts as a signal to go ahead and chase. Get this thing and we will feel better. We will feel relaxed. But the mind is a liar. The devil is a liar. Your ego wants to protect you, wants to keep you safe in a familiar cycle of habits that you've built up for yourself, because we are creatures of habit. So at the end of the day, we must choose what habits we are slaves to, right? Ogmandino, scroll number 1. However, one thing you can do in this present moment is when the urges come up, observe them and notice that, acknowledge it, right? Sit with these feelings, with these emotions for 5 minutes at least. 1 minute if you can, for as long as you can. No distractions, no music, silence. Just you and the feeling, and allow these feelings to play out, express themselves, because that's really and truthfully what they need to do. These feelings have been suppressed, repressed, depressed for so long that they cause physical and mental symptoms that absolutely take away from our livelihoods. So what we need to do is express them. We need to make the unconscious conscious. Only then can we change what is occurring in our lives. Carl Jung. Actually going to the library today to pick up the Red Book, start reading that as well. Should be interesting. I have a lot of unconscious things that I need to make conscious, clearly, but that's neither here nor there. Let these thoughts process. Allow them to pass like a flowing wave. I know it sounds poetic, but it's going to be more like a whirlpool cyclone tsunami. Your mind is going to turn into a blender of just darkness and iniquity. Really and truthfully, it happened to me, but at the end of the day, that's all going on in your mind. Your mind is, you are not your mind, you're not your thoughts. Sit. You control your body. Your mind doesn't control your body. Really and truthfully. It becomes a choice, an action to just allow these thoughts to be expressed. And then after these 5 minutes have passed, after this momentary period of silence, of reflection has gone on, I recommend you journal your thoughts, your feelings. For me, I'm a Christian. The only reason I believe I've actually able to get to this state in mind and not actually drown in the abyss is because I have God with me, always and forever. Jesus Christ, my hope, my mercy, my Savior. He's with me. So I pray, I read scripture, and I ask the Lord for guidance, for wisdom. I let him know that I know he's with me, and that I know that I'm going to be okay. As long as I embrace, as long as I release, as long as I sit in the silence, the valley of the dark, the valley of the shadow of death. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at myself, I realize there's nothing left. Anyways, but at that point, your rod and thy staff comfort me. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I know I will be able to endure, for thy rod and thy staff comfort me. But, for some people, they might not be atheists. Oh, they might be atheists, maybe agnostics, but really and truthfully, the Bible, the basic instructions before leaving Earth, really and truthfully, shout out to the Jizza for that one. The Jizza, the RZA, old dirty bastard. Point being, I would recommend reading the Bible because there is a lot of ancient wisdom in there. The Bible has been revised, repeated, and even if you don't believe me, there is so many teachings. It's really the only book you need to read to gain the knowledge. However, if you want to understand and gain the wisdom, then you would have to deepen your faith, to deepen your trust, of course. And that's not for everyone. However, there is an immaculate amount of wisdom in these books. But after the 5 minutes, if you don't want to go read the Bible, I say journal your thoughts. Write down what you're feeling. And study. Study yourself. Learn about yourself. That is the way to overcome our addictions. We must learn about ourselves, learn about our addictions, learn about where they come from. And instead of hiding and running away from them, uncover, discover them, right? Discover. Remove the cover and discern what is underneath. Make the unconscious conscious. And the only way to do that is to sit with these emotions instead of piling them down underneath social media, food, music, work, business, busyness, if you will. But that's a video for another day. We make small choices and small habits. Make small choices with the small habits we wish to replace, essentially. So for me, when I want to smoke, when the urge comes up, I just sit. I immediately sit, slap on a timer, and just sit down and just watch those thoughts. See where they're coming from, see what physical parts of myself are being activated. Find out where the feeling is, and sometimes I'll just read about it. Or I'll just journal the thoughts afterwards. However, my phone's gonna die. This is Jason D. Xavier. We on that journey of finding fulfillment. And I thank God for whoever's watching this, and I pray to God that whoever's watching this finds some benefit, really and truthfully. Can find some ease, find some sense of encouragement, inspiration, or motivation maybe. Receive some answers that maybe they have not found anywhere else, because though I've been struggling, I've been searching for these answers as well, but no one's really told me. Yeah, everyone, how many times can you reiterate the same thing, right? But really and truthfully, you have to sit with these emotions and process them out of your brain. Why do you think meditation is so impactful? However, my phone's gonna die. Like, follow, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment, man. What are you guys trying to overcome in this day? How do you plan to do so? Let's help each other out, man. Let's build a community, because at the end of the day, no one gives a fuck about us. Let's be real here. No one gives a fuck about us except for ourselves. So the more we care, the better we can maneuver through this life together. Either way, I'll see you for the next one. Young Brown, Young Phillian, finding fulfillment. I'll see y'all guys later.